Down to Business Podcast here with another episode. And for today, I sat down with Joe of Strange Solez, sneaker reselling / boutique. And so one of the things that he really highlighted that I liked was the importance of how his 9 to 5 actually helped propel him and learn more about the business and the space that he wanted to get into. And then we really were able to debunk and really dive into some of the misconceptions, some of the myths, the stereotypes when it comes to the actual sneaker reselling business and just how things have been getting kind of crazy these days, even with some recent releases. And then lastly, we talked about a new product that he's going to debut that me personally, I'm very excited for just because I'll be a big user of it. So I hope you enjoy it just as much as I do. So without further ado, enjoy episode 80, Heat on Feet. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Down to Business Podcast here with Tamar Turner. So sitting down with, man, I consider this, man, this is family. This is my guy, man. It's somebody who throw it up, man. So it's actually, so we were able to meet at ECU. Big shout out to Joe, for just everything that he's done, just since I met him at ECU, we were actually a part of another organization together, where we really just took the party promotion event space world by storm. So, but love that fact that I'm sitting down with Joe today because, he was actually, when I started my podcast, and I'm pretty sure he remembers this too, he actually reached out to me before he actually started his business, before he actually started what he's on here to talk about today, because he hit me up and was just like, yo, I like the nature of the podcast. I like what you're talking about. I like what you're doing. I was a few episodes in at this point. He was like, yo, what if I just got on the episode, and I chopped it up about what it takes to, start a business, be in business, get that thing established. What are some of the pros and cons? What are some things that you could kind of go? And immediately I like that just because, for one, when I first started, and obviously now that I've continued, my biggest thing was just hitting business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives, just being in that space, just, talking to people. But I never actually kind of took a step back and was like, well, how about I talk to somebody, who may not necessarily be in that field, but is either A, thinking about, approaching that or getting into that space, or B, just somebody who can speak from that. So now that, he's been able to start his business, he's had his business up and running at this point, he can kind of honestly speak from both sides. So I'm actually kind of glad that not only he can give that perspective, but he can also obviously give the business owner side. So, Joe, how you doing today, bro? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Everything is straight, man.
I'm
How
good,
about
bro. I
you?
can never complain. I appreciate you, coming on, taking the time to sit down with me. So, for the people out there tapping in, for those people tapping in from your side, the people tapping in from my side, and then we'll probably have some new folks along the way. Can you, one, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then two, just tell us what brings you on the Down to Business podcast today?
All right. So, first of all, I'm Joseph Strange. Most people know me as Joe. You know what I'm saying? Some people, call me by nickname Strange, whatever. Um, I went to ECU, East Carolina University, where I met Tamar. Yeah, we connected through a lot of school organizations, and we had outside organizations as well. Um, But what brings me here today is basically to talk about business, man. Because it was like, for me, starting my own business, it was something different. And it was steps that I had to take that I didn't know that I had to take. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give people that knowledge of the steps that they need to take to make their own business and to make it successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, to where they can take those chill days off. Every day is not a go hard, you know what I'm saying? Go hard or go home day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can have those chill days where, you can do what you need to do because life happens. You know what I'm saying? So,
Life happens for sure. I think that's the best way to put it sometimes. So, love the fact that you started it off like that. Love that, you said that it's one thing to, start a business, know kind of what you have in your head, know maybe the blueprint, know maybe some of the behind the scenes or just some of the steps that you have to take. But it's another thing when you realize, once you either are getting in business or once you go through certain experiences, that there may have been steps that you missed or steps that you needed to take or things that you didn't even know that you learned along the way. So what would you even say early on with just getting started with your business and everything that you do? What are some things that you weren't really prepared for? Or some things that you kind of had to learn along the way and adjust to?
uh, my main thing was the minor expenses. Of course, everybody knows the big expenses, like buying the product and buying, buying the promotion and buying the things that you need to then, sell said product. But nobody really knows the creation of the product, what the supplies, the things you need, the ingredients you need, not a lot of people know that. And that was one thing that really tripped me up, because when it came down to it, it was, yeah, I want to make this, or yes, I want to do this, or yeah, I want to sell these items, but then I don't know how to get to them. I don't know how to get, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I may have the money, I may have the funding, but the resources of having those items either brought to me, whether I need it in bulk or whether I need this specific one, I can't get it. You know what I'm saying? So that really discourages a lot of early entrepreneurs and business owners. Um, and I mean, you can resolve that easily by just going out there and doing your research on things like Google, YouTube. You know, helping yourself out and taking those little self classes, self taught classes, and things of that nature. But it also helps to it doesn't hurt to, like, what I'm saying, reach out to 9 to 5s, reach out to businesses and stuff like that. If you get a job, get one specifically to your business, you know what I'm saying, what you want to do, because then you can learn the process overall of what you have to do versus just knowing the basis of, what I'm saying, I gotta sell said product and said product can make me so much money, you know what I'm saying. So then oh, okay, this is, I need to put away this percentage for this ingredient, put away that percentage for that ingredient, and then put, you know what I'm saying? So that way you have all of your products to make the one big base that you do, that you know about. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that for sure, and I definitely do understand how, like you said, you can know kind of the bulk expenses what you need in that beginning, but it's another thing too, and it can be an eye opener, and it can even deter you. Like you said, it could even kind of make you want to quit or take a step back when you start seeing just little thing after little thing after little thing. And sometimes those are the worst hits, especially because of how frequently they can happen. Like, it's one thing to know I got to put out, all right, this amount here, I got to do this every month, I got to do that every month. But when it's certain things that you can't account for, or just the rainy days, or just like you said, those days that are really just up and at them, you kind of always on the go, and you can't prepare for certain things. That can be, an experience where you just like, damn, like, is this really it? I can't deal with this every month. So that's why it's always good to, like you said, use outside resources, not external. Don't always think that, one, it's always a set way to do things, man. I've been able to talk to so many different people, and ultimately everybody has been able to achieve success. Everybody definitely has great businesses, great services, great products that they offer and that they do. But at the end of the day, they all recognize that it wasn't one thing that really got them successful. Like I said, I've been able to hear different opinions, different stories about how, some people struggled in the beginning and now they're progressing. Some people progressed in the beginning and that they struggled a little bit and now they're progressing again. It's really just a different story each time and a different path to it, but it's really about what works for you. So just in thinking about you getting into business, you starting everything, you even listed some of the things, like you said, your Googles, your YouTubes, and just even some 9 to 5s and things like that. What did you find to really be most helpful for you as a resource for getting things up and running, for really making the business what you want it to be today?
Definitely, and this is no bull, getting a 9 to 5. But my 9 to 5 pertains to my job. So I work at FootLocker, and you know what I'm saying. So I have a sneaker company where we buy, sell, trade, and we clean, customize, and we restore sneakers. So knowing I work doing the overnight stocking, so I know everything that goes on as far as deliveries in the back, checking things in, how things go. That helps me as far as being able to, you know what I'm saying, be able to stay on top of my game as far as, oh yeah, we know when shoes are coming out, we know when shoes are going to be able to be available and things of that nature. But it also helps me to realize, like, oh, well, this isn't just a sneaker store. They have clothes in here too. They have sneaker cleaner in here too. You know what I'm saying? They sell other items other than shoes. The shoes are just the premier item. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well then, as a sneaker, you know what I'm saying, as a person who's buy, selling, and trade sneakers, I should develop my business more. I should add apparel. I should add a product. I should add, you know what I'm saying? So that it's helping me to now bring my business forward into something that I want to eventually, like I said, I want to make a shoe store, but like, I don't want it to be just your average shoe store where you walk in and just buy shoes, buy a t-shirt. I want you to be able to come and get a Strange tracksuit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's yeah, like, it widened my vision a lot more than just, hey, I got shoes. I can sell shoes, So
I feel like, yeah, almost
yeah,
anybody.
I said not.
Nah, yeah, right. I feel like almost anybody can do that. Anybody can, even with business aside, you could just go cop a bunch of J's or go cop a bunch of Nikes or go cop a bunch of something and then, just distribute them out to people. But when, you take that step further, when you really, like you said, come in and get a Strange tracksuit, come in and be able to get your sneakers restored or just different things like that. I think that's kind of cool. It's very interesting hearing the how you set the 9 to 5 up in the business. They really go hand in hand with one another. That was very strategic. So what really came first ultimately? Were you working at Foot Locker first and then you kind of decided, hey, I could really, finesse this a little bit. Did you always have in your mind that this is something that you kind of wanted to do in the essence of a boutique? How did that go for you?
Nah, actually, Strange Souls started out as a customizing business back in 2017. So I was customizing shoes and I was restoring shoes back in 2017, and I was calling it Strange Souls. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it started at. And I just been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Here, there, cleaning shoes and things of that nature. I mean, and it really developed into. It didn't really develop me into me selling sneakers until this year. And that happened before I got the job at FootLocker. Me getting the job at FootLocker was me realizing, like, hey, this can be more than just me selling sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder what goes on behind the scenes at FootLocker. So I applied for the job. I got the, you know what I'm saying? Got the interview, got the job, and you know what I'm saying? Now I know exactly what goes on, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes at FootLocker. And it's like, hey, this this is how FootLocker makes millions of dollars a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how FootLocker is a successful business. And you have all these boutiques that are in the mall beside FootLocker. You see they got all the exclusive shoes, all the hot shoes, but FootLocker's making 10 times more money. Why? You know what I'm saying? And that was my first thought. Like, yeah, I want to be a high boutique where everybody come, but I want to be that consistent boutique also. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be hot for a little bit. I want to be hot forever. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to keep coming. I want to make a chain. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the next JDs. I want to be the next Snipes. You know what I'm saying? I want that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how are they able to make millions and get chains off of their brand by being a sneaker store? And you know what I'm saying? But you see these boutiques out here that are, they good, they hot, but you just don't see really the longevity in those boutiques. You know what I'm saying? That Foot Locker is going to be in that mall forever. You know what I'm saying? You're going to come back 5 years later, that boutique's probably going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? Whether they moved into their own brick and mortar or whether they moved, they're going to be gone. Foot Locker has a brick and mortar and they're in the mall. You know what I'm saying? And they down the street as well. You know, like they got three in the damn 100-mile vicinity. Like, you know what I'm saying? So how can I become like that? You know what I'm saying? And just seeing the process of how they put things on sale, the strategic plan of how they place things in stores. You know what I'm saying? Like when you walk in, the first thing you see isn't the shoes, it's the clothes. They put the clothes in your face first because you're gonna automatically you come into Foot Locker to buy shoes. But if you can buy a shirt to go with those shoes, then I've just made more money. If you want to buy pants to go with that shirt to go with those shoes, I've just made more money. If you want to buy a hat to go with that suit and with them shoes, I just made more money. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the strategic planning and having those things in place. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that from my 9 to 5. So
It's crazy, man. I'm over here smiling as you kind of going through everything because I used to work at Foot Locker when I was at ECU. So it's just like everything you saying to me is just like, man, it was stuff that as a consumer before I started working there had no idea. Was just obviously would just go like you said, you coming for shoes, buy a shirt here and there, maybe some socks, cleaner, whatever the case you need, whatever. But working there and just the mantra and how you get trained and just the terminology and like you said, the placement and it's all you realize that it's really all by design. Like it's like that on purpose. Like stuff is literally moved around and sectioned off and showed and displayed on purpose. Why when the J's come out is the shirt always hanging up at the front or they got the counters with the new why do they because if you buying this and then you see that and you looking down you're like this matches. Oh yeah, grab that. I might as well just grab that too. Or why do they teach us, to always have the stuff close enough to be able to show people because it's just like they're gonna try the shoes on. So it was so crazy, just learning all of that, but really getting both sides of it is one thing. And that's why I encourage people, like not encourage you to just work all jobs, but it took me, working in fast food to really know what happens in fast food. It took, like, granted, I'm not naive
right.
to it, but at the end of the day, it's a difference between what you think goes on and what the videos kind of resurface sometimes than when you really in it, when you're really doing this stuff yourself. And likewise with retail, with Foot Locker, just with call center jobs, just with salesmen, just anything. It kind of takes getting that different perspective for you to really know, behind the scenes, okay, it's really a strategy to this. And then it changes the way you consume things a little bit. Like now when I walk in a Foot Locker, I know kind of how to talk to the people. I know what to say or what not to say or just different things like that. Or even sometimes I tell them like, yo, I used to work here. Like, all right, like you're not really about to get me,
Right.
like I'm on it. And so once we kind of get that mutual understanding, it's been cool. But I think the way you set it up, bro, that's smart. That's very actually very interesting. And then a point that you even made too about the the boutiques, and just how I think about, the diversification of boutiques in comparison to like the stores you said, like, because it was crazy for me when I went back home to Philly, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it was just like I was seeing snipes pop up everywhere, and I was asking my friends like, "Yo, what is this? I had never seen this. What is going on?" And they were saying, "Yo, this is like the new like the FootLocker's finish lines," but it was just crazy how they really just not only got up and established themselves, but how they were just that they really had that rapport in the sneaker game. And it, like you said, it wasn't these boutiques that are here one day and you visit them all a year or two later and they're not even there anymore. But I think it also goes to show not only the strategic nature behind it, but also just the diversification. When you think about boutiques and stuff like that, the boutiques always want the hottest of the hottest of the hottest, the freshest of the freshest of the freshest.
Right.
You can't always, you can't always get that in abundance. But if you get a little bit of everything, if you get something that may be ugly or corny to somebody else, somebody gonna buy it. There's a consumer somewhere else that wants it.
Right.
You got to hit multiple crowds. So that's even a message for boutique owners. Obviously, yes, you want what you want. You want that high fashion, that high nature, different things like that. But you got to be diverse with it. There are still plenty of things out there. One man's trash, another man's treasure. So something that's corny to me, Joe could rock with, and vice versa. Joe could rock with something, and I look at it, I'd be like, you got to appeal to all different types of crowds. So, in thinking about what you do, and really thinking about moving forward, the message that you want to have, the establishment that you really want to get and build that up and build that brand up. What do you feel like are some steps that you need to take? Yes, you have the boutique now. Yes, you are making things happen from sneakers to just clothing to just establishing a clientele to even getting, the behind the scenes by working at Foot Locker. But what do you feel like it's really going to take from you, from your team to really establish Strange Souls?
It's gonna take us coming up with new things, coming up with more products, coming out with um, coming out with merch, coming out with clothes and things of that nature, stuff that people can buy, what I'm saying, that they can keep, you know. Um, yeah, we do have a product coming out soon. We're gonna talk about that later, but yeah, we do got a product coming out soon, and we do have merch coming in 2022. So that's another thing, is that we just want to establish ourselves as having that streetwear, that product brand. We want to have that because we want it to be something where people come here for multiple things. They don't just come here for one thing. They don't come here for just shoes. They come for clothes too. They come for whatever else we got. You know what I'm saying? So, I really want it to be big, and that's what I want to do. I want to get it like that before I actually move into the brick and mortar. You know what I'm saying? Before I get into the standalone store, I want it to be where more people know, because when you have a reputable name, people are more intrigued to come to your store. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're more intrigued to come into the store if they know that when they're coming into the store who they're dealing with already. So and yeah, I would much rather have that reputation before going into a store, because it just take too long in the store, having the store and the store's rent, and then you trying to bring out product and you trying to it'll just take too long, and it'd be too much on one thing, like on one person. That's why it's better to have that reputable, you know what I'm saying, that name where everybody knows, so when they come in, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You already got your business set up. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm really running it, shipments and meeting ups, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Um, Sometimes I do post up at certain stores, but it's never really, what I'm saying? It's never really like, oh, this is my store type deal. You know what I'm saying? This is just me being at the store. I'm selling shoes right now for a couple hours. Hit me up, come through the store. You know what I'm saying? And usually that's just helping the store out. You know what I'm saying? Getting the store some traffic and stuff like that. So, you
Gotcha.
know, just yeah, getting those reps in, because what I'm saying, like I said, I want to get my own store, so I want to know what to go, I want to know what to do, how to feel.
But that's a great point to have. You don't want to have what some people may consider or what some people may see as like a first big break, or like where you really you see some bread coming in, you see some flow coming in, you see some clientele coming in, and you just hop, skip, and jump to the move of, oh, let me get the store, let me get right. No, you want to be able to keep doing that repeatedly. You want to start walking around the city and seeing oh, you checked out Strange Souls, or da da da, you've been there, you've been this, you've been that. But you want to be able to do that repeatedly, because it's one thing to do it one time. It could be a one hit wonder. It could just be, you had a hot product, one of the releases a lot of people weren't able to get, or you just got, enough of it, or you just came out with something that was hot at the time. But then you get the store, you get a little dry spell, or it's not as what you would thought. And like you said, when it starts to come with the rent, when it starts to come with just other things, still having to push out the product, still having to do Even think about, the rainy day fund that we talked about at the beginning of the episode, how minor things can just happen. And sometimes those minor expenses can really build up and become a major expense. But if your store, if your name, if your brand, if your quality, if your clientele, if your customer service, if all that feedback is already established and it's already established for the long haul, in a sense, like people really know you, people really rock with you, it's really getting out there, then yes, when you bring the store, that'll only be an added bonus to you. So I think that's something for business owners and entrepreneurs and just people in general to just consider. Don't always be in such a rush to get that storefront to be established, because at the same time, while that's a good feeling, at the same time, while people can, put maybe a spot to the name, put something to it, it's still a lot that comes with that. That's still just a totally different ball game. One of my, pro fights, he actually, fraternity members for the people who non-Greek, but he actually just opened up a private gym. But obviously, that took years of just him training. That took years of him working for other people. That took years of him even branding himself,
Right.
being his own boss. It wasn't just that first time he got some good clientele, he got some good money. He said, let's up it. Let's just do it, because it's a lot that comes with the gym. And even just being at his event, seeing everything that he had to put on, and just talking to some of his coordinators and teammates and people like that, and just seeing how everything had to come together. It's a lot. And that's them just giving that to us. That's not even them talking to us about behind the scenes and different things like that. So in thinking about behind the scenes and thinking about just things that goes on that we don't know about. So something that we were talking about yesterday, just me and you personally, was, just the nature of this Cool Grey 11 release, how it was, bro, from the time I woke up, like it was all over the time. I seen people selling, I seen people looking, I seen people sold, I seen people, going crazy, losing the draft, winning the draft, whatever the case may be. So what would you say is one of the hardest things about what you do? Whether it be daily operational things, whether it be about promotion, whether it just be about securing merchandise, re-putting it back out, having to deal with people. What is just something that you feel like people don't know about when it comes to boutiques that you really, have to deal with it, whether it be daily or just, from time to time?
It's the I I don't know how to put it. It's kind of like, all right, so you got the customer and you have the product, right? So it's usually always putting the product with the customer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like, yeah, Jordans are gonna sell, right? But you have to know which Jordans are gonna sell with which people. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's gonna like the Bordeaux Six. Not everybody's gonna like the I'm in year ones. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, they hot, but if I buy 5 pairs, am I going to be able to sell these 5 pairs? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard on how you're going to figure out which customer crowd is going to purchase which items. You know what I'm saying? Now with the Cool Grays, everybody bought them, so you didn't have to worry about that. You just bought Cool Grays and they sold. Pretty much that was it. Like you didn't. Yesterday nobody had to worry about selling anything because it sold. But there are more, you know what I'm saying, more shoes that are coming out, more releases that are coming out. And it's like, I don't know if these are going to be able to sell. Don't know how those are going to do. But, I mean, you just got to take that chance, And I mean, of course, you can push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. You might have to come down on your price a little bit. But, I mean, you can get it sold. But, that's basically the hardest part of dealing with, you know what I'm saying, the whole buy, selling, and trade and the boutique type feel.
Okay. See, I didn't even think about it like that, but okay, just you got to be strategic in a sense and think about what you can't just hop on everything because what may be hot to one person when you go all in and you grab, like you said, 5 to 10 pairs. What if you sell two? Look how much you just put on that. And what if
Right.
you sell two after having to come down on the price, after having to negotiate a little bit, after having to work with people? So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so now all right, so thinking about, we were also talking about yesterday, you were just ripping and running. You said, bro, I'm trying to, sit down, I'm trying to catch a little moment, but it's just hot right now. It's making it happen. So when it comes to just different releases, when it comes to just different things coming out, walk me through a little bit, because I kind of like this question just because so many people recently have been complaining about bots and just always losing and just the raffles and the drafts and everything like that. So for
Right.
you, what is that process like of securing like pairs of sneakers or just merchandise or things like that? Are you reaching out to these places beforehand? Are you calling around the day of? I know that you work kind of at FootLocker too, so you have maybe even a different advantage.
I
Are
was about
you
to say,
pulling up? Like what's really going on? How do you really get, these releases and things like that to be able to then put onto other people?
so like you said, I work at Foot Locker. So, you know what I'm saying? Initially, I'm already there. I've already, whether it be at my store or at another store somewhere else, I'll probably already have a pair reserved. Now, as far as getting pairs on release day, the safest place to go is the mall. You don't want to because for one, it's a public place, and two, everybody who's coming out of the mall has purchased a pair from the mall, so you don't want them to be coming from somewhere else where you don't know where they done came from, like. And 9 times out of 10, if they coming from a boutique, they're gonna charge you extra high because they like, yo, I just bought them for extra high in here, so you got to buy them for extra high from me. So that's what I'm saying. Um, but as far as trying to find pairs on release day, bro, like honestly, I don't have no bots. I've never had a bot. I was about to buy a bot one time, but it was super expensive, and then I was like, bro, it's not even guaranteeing me the sneaker. You know what I'm saying? Like a bot doesn't guarantee you the sneaker. Um, it's just the more you spend, the better chances you have. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a lot of people hit for a lot of sneakers, but 9 times out of 10, they not hitting them for like that. They not hitting them like that. They know somebody who works at the store, and you know what I'm saying? Like they'll hit the reserve, and then you know what I'm saying, they'll walk in early. If you hit a reserve, you got to go early. You know what I'm saying? If you do those things, you got to go early. Like if you know what I'm saying, if you got pairs, you have to go early. If you want to get shoes, you got to go early. Some places do first come first serve, so you don't know that they got the shoes in there because it's not promoted on their website. It's not promoted uh uh in the store, none of that. They ain't got no signs up, none of that. You just gotta walk in on release day and be like, hey, do y'all have pairs? And they might say yes or no. And if they say yes, then boom, you're in luck. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be in luck because on release day they have pairs. You know what I'm saying? So and like I said, you just have to be early with it. A lot of people try to go out there around 12 o'clock. By that time, shoes is already released. Shoes released at 10 o'clock. You got to be up by 9:30. I left the house at 9:30 yesterday. I didn't get back till like, boy. But yeah, I got back last night. Like it was crazy because you out all day literally buying shoes and you know what I'm saying, going to different stores, different malls and stuff like that. So it's not stressful because it is kind of fun. I like the adrenaline of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I got to get these pairs, so I'm gonna get these pairs. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know what I'm saying? It heightens me. You know what I'm saying? Gets me going. Um, so I mean, it's just all about like getting pairs is really all about the timing, bro. Like you have to when the reserves go up for FootLocker and stuff, they usually go up the week of. Do it the week of, do it early. Do it early on in the week and then edit your reservations. You know what I'm saying? Like make sure that they know that you're there. You know what I'm saying? Be active on the apps. Go through the apps and look through the stuff. Go on the sneakers app and look through the little stories and stuff like that. Click through them, stuff like that. Like it's not hard. It's really not hard to get shoes, bro. You just gotta try a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just different. You know what I'm saying? Like now you have to interact with it through an app like you do social media. Whereas you used to be able to go and do it in person. It's the same thing. It's just like people to people confrontation. You know what I'm saying? Talking. You know what I'm saying? Conversing. You do it now like we doing it through a computer. You know what I'm saying? Through social media and stuff like that. Where we used to do things like this in person, where you would be sitting next to me and we would have a camera. You know what I'm saying? Because it would be only one camera. So now it's just like things are changing where it's like now you don't have to go to the store or now you don't have to. You just got to do it on the app. You know what I'm saying? Just go to the app. You know what I'm saying? Look up and do what you got to do. That's it. You
It's a
know?
fact, man. Yeah, like you said, I feel like you said you just got to try a little bit. I think that a lot of times nowadays, what I'm seeing are that people are really only exhausting a one or two options. But whereas now, with the demand and with everything, especially with the cool grades, I didn't even realize it myself, but I read somewhere this is like the third time this year they released them or something like that. So it was just like you really have to.
Yeah.
You got to think everybody might be going to that sneakers app. Everybody might be going to StockX. Everybody might be going to Kicks on Fire or whatever the case. You have to pop out different places. Sometimes pop out even different cities. Like I remember to secure a couple of my sneakers, I had to do a little bit of traveling, or I had to look at sites or just
Yeah.
different places that I hadn't gotten on before, just because like you said, it's really just adapting. It's really just changing that much. So with what you do, with obviously securing things, I even kind of follow the stories on your personal story and then even the Strange Soul story. I see that a lot of times people are, you're making partnerships or people are getting pairs from you, you're getting pairs from other people, you're just doing doing different things. People are sending a
Yeah.
handshake emoji. So would you say that kind of getting into this space with boutiques, with people, selling their own things or being their own like consignments and different things like that, would you say that there's a lot of, room to be able to connect, to be able to network here? Do you feel like it's a lot of competition? People are kind of just all in it for themselves? Do you feel like it's just a little bit of both? What has really been your experience with and working with other people, whether it be, just private business owners, just other boutiques, consignment shops, and things of that nature?
Like in this, you cannot be successful unless you network with other people. So, like, because it's all about your reputation. If you have a reputation for being an asshole and not doing good business, people ain't going to work with you. You know what I'm saying? People aren't, if you have a reputation for always trying to talk people down on prices, people aren't going to work with you. If you have a reputation for always trying to undercut people, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You see people that's posting pairs for two something, and then you be like, oh well, mine 185. What's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people ain't gonna really want to work with you simply because it's all about, you know what I'm saying, the nature of let's work together. Like, you got pairs, I have pairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we might not be at the same table, we're at the same event. You know what I'm saying? So it's all the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got pairs, I have pairs. I got sizes you don't have. You have sizes I don't have. So, you know what I'm saying? We might as well work together versus working against each other, because that's how we're going to make more money, because everybody wants shoes. Everybody likes shoes, from babies all the way up to grown people. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody needs shoes. So let's just supply the whole, you know what I'm saying? Let's supply the city. Let's supply the state. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there is no, in sneaker reselling, I should say, you know what I'm saying? In boutiques and stuff like that, there is a little competition, but there's not really like major competition, like, oh, I gotta beat you out, I gotta sell more than you, because at the end of the day, we both gonna sell and we both gonna make money. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's pretty much it. It ain't really no, not too much competition. It ain't really too much of uh any like bad blood between anybody in the sneaker industry or none of that. It's just like we all cool with each other. You got pairs, I got pairs. If you want some pairs, I'll get you some pairs. You know what I'm saying? If I want some pairs, can you get me some pairs? The more people you network with, the easier it is to get pairs, because they'll have pairs and then they'll be like, hey, look, I got these early pairs. Do you want them? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's better to just be cool with everybody than it is to try to than it is to try to beat everybody. If you try to beat everybody, you ain't gonna win.
Yeah, I could imagine word get around quick, man, and they quick to, cut people off, or, just be like, yeah, well, we can't really look out for him, especially in this game that it is now, man, with how, like you said, how easy it is for some, but how just difficult it can be for others, or how some people aren't really as resourceful as others. So, yeah, if you got the bad rep or they putting a bad word about you, your business might not be booming the way you want it to be. So, okay, I like that. All right, so thinking about Strange Souls, man, we talked about it a little earlier. I don't want you to give up too much, but I also do kind of want to still inform the people and educate them. So, can you just give us just a little rundown as to, going through the page, even kind of coming to shop with you in person, or just anything like that? What can we expect from just merchandise to just shoes? Do you have anything that you're looking forward to? I know we talked about teaser product a little bit earlier, so I'm kind of very interested in
Yeah.
learning about that, just even for myself, because I love to, keep my sneakers up kept and just different things like that. So yeah, what is on the Strange
Yeah.
Souls like inventory list? What do you guys kind of have? What have been some of your latest pickups, or even some of the hottest cops that you had this year?
Um, we actually had a lot of we had a lot of cool grades, of course. Everybody had a lot of cool grades. We had a lot of late releases. We had a lot of Lightning Fours. We had a lot of the Bordeaux Sixes, a lot of Bordeaux Ones, a lot of, you know what I'm saying. That's what you can expect from us right now. We do sell graphic tees and stuff like that, but we really do that like in person. We do that at events. We do, you know what I'm saying, sell hats and stuff like that. Um, but the product that I am going to tease, I'm about to show you. You know what I'm saying. I ain't got the label on this one, so it's, all right. So this right here is our sneaker cleaner that we will be dropping. It'll be either it'll be sometime at the end of this month. It'll be before 2022, but it'll be like right before, probably like within 2 weeks. But yeah, they'll be available for production, and it'll come with the brush. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be packaged like this. Have a nice little packaging, and then it'll be you know what I'm saying. We'll send it out. It won't cost much. This is a very good sneaker cleaner. This is more concentrated, so you have to add water with this. This is only 2.7 ounces, but this will last you forever, bro. Like this will last you just as long as the ones in the mall, honestly, because it's concentrate. You mix it with water. You know what I'm saying? You don't use this straight up. You mix it with water. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, yeah. The sneaker cleaner works very good. I've used it numerous amount of times. I've been working on this since about August. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. I got that going. I got that developed. The brush is a soft bristle brush. It comes with a cap, so you can take the cap off. But it's a soft bristle brush. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mess up your leather. It doesn't chip your leather, and you can use it on your suede. Um, yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna say too much more, but but yeah, I'm definitely gonna it'll be packaged up and ready uh by the end of this month and ready to sell. The price, matter of fact, I'll let y'all know the price. The price will be around $7. It's not gonna be above. It's not gonna be above 10. And like I said, this you add this with water. You in the mall, you paying $20 for this. You paying $15, $18 for this. This is gonna cost you no more than $10, and $10 will probably be a little bit bigger than this. It'll probably be a 5 ounce bottle of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how we going. That's how we
Like you said, that's how we
getting.
rocking. Look, once I heard 710, you got me because yeah, I know, man. Just as somebody who I don't visit the mall often, but every time I do, man, you bound to run into one of them kiosks with the cleaners, man. They don't let you live it
Yeah,
down, bro. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like I be lying to them. I'll be like, bro, you clean my sneaks early. You don't remember? I could just begin to the mall, like, bro. I be trying to avoid them at
right,
all costs, but I dig what they do. But no, as somebody who, like I said, I had bought I actually have the crepe kit from FootLocker, and I was using Jason Mark for a little bit too. Both two reputable, but you're gonna pay that bread, especially for Jason Mark, man. He was taxing.
yeah,
But so I'm interested to see this, bro. Like I said, yeah, let me know, tap me in. I'm definitely. I know some folks on there who cop the J's and cop all the sneaks and do the same sneaker cleaning too. So yeah, we definitely gonna get that. But I love that, bro. I love that you got in the lab, like you said, it was something that you were working on since August, and here we are in December. So that's
right,
just even a message to the people out there. Look, you got to do some trial and error. You got to, take things little by little so that now he debuts it. He wasn't in a rush to get it out. Granted, it was probably a process. It was probably some things that weren't working. But once he figured out what it
right.
was and got onto it, look where we at now. And now he's able to debut it. Like he said, he's not taxing the people too much for it. And it's going to work. The results are going to speak for themselves. So I'll have a testimonial for y'all pretty soon, man. So,
Yes, sir.
before I get into the social media where people can tap in with you at, where people can even if moving forward, if they just looking at different releases or different things like that, where they can kind of get in contact with you at. Do you feel like over the course of this interview or just in general today, there's anything that we haven't touched on? Do you feel like there's a message you want to leave for people, whether they be kind of in this sneaker reselling or boutique space or just entrepreneur or business owner at all? Or do you feel like there's anything you just want to touch on that we might not have brought up today?
Yeah, I got one thing for like the sneaker boutique people. So like brand experience, right? So when I say brand experience, I'm not talking about how much experience you have with a brand. I'm talking about how people can experience a brand with your brand. So Foot Locker, for example, is a brand experience store. You walk in Foot Locker and you can experience the brand of Nike. They have a Nike display. They have Nike shoes, clothes, hats, and accessories. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Adidas. They're an Adidas experience store because they have Adidas clothes, bags, etc. All that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward with store, you know what I'm saying? You want to move towards that brand experience so then you can have that reputable name with these big companies. You can have that name with Nike. Nike is going to send you product because you're promoting their product in your store. So it pays more to have less in your store. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in your store and you got 10,000 shoes, but you only got 500 Nikes, make sure you consolidate your Nikes into a Nike section. Put it in there and put a Nike. Ask Nike if you could put the Nike check over it. They'll ask you if you want a contract. Dot 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 dot. Boom. There you go. You have a Nike contract because you are now a Nike brand experience store where people can go and experience the brand of Nike. That's something I learned behind the scenes at Foot Locker. Uh, Two, this is for all entrepreneurs, man. Just take your time and go through the motions of being behind the scenes to learn what it takes to be. up front. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you do want to get your business out there, and yes, you know what I'm saying, you got to act on it fast, but acting on it isn't just promoting it or putting it out. It's doing the background research. It's going to these places and making sure you know exactly what you're doing on your behalf to make sure that your brand is solid and successful, and it's always progressing. You know what I'm saying? You never want to have a brand that, you know what I'm saying, you working and then you just stop because you don't know exactly what else you're going to do, or you don't know exactly what else you can do to develop your business. You know what I'm saying? Um, you always want to make sure that you are working. You know, well, not working necessarily, but you always want to make sure that you're thinking about your business and how your business can go well. You know what I'm saying? What can you do to forward your business? What can you do to make it different? What can you do to make it better? You know what I'm saying? Just those things in mind. And don't be afraid to ask for outside opinions, people who don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Send free product out to somebody who doesn't know you, and then see how they react to your product. You know what I'm saying? Send free product out to somebody, you know what I'm saying, without paying them, and see how they react to your product. You know what I'm saying? Because as a you know what I'm saying, as somebody who sells things, a lot of times we think about going to celebrities. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say something good about it because we probably sent $100 bill with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, it's like, let's send it to somebody who doesn't know anything about your product or doesn't know anything about you, and see how they react to it. You know, go somewhere where you don't know anybody and sell your product. You know, then and see how that works. Then and then, you know, test your business out like that. Yeah, just be patient with it. You know.
Patience, man. I swear you have to be, something that I pride myself on at ECU. Just thinking about my organizational and leadership experience was, I remember when, I got the BSU leadership position, I got leadership within the Qs and stuff, bro. I just wanted to do like collaborations and events that hadn't been done before. But we all know at ECU that at a certain point we were doing the same events. We would just throw a different name on it. We would just throw two different orgs behind it. But essentially it was the same thing, bro. Like, we ain't got to get into it, no shade. But eventually, bro, I just want to do stuff that was unheard of. Like you said, that's why I'm so big on the giveaways, or just sending people stuff, or just partnering with just different people, because you never know who can. The fact that I got my Philly folks sending stuff to my people in North Carolina, or my followers in Florida, or my followers in Atlanta, or just different things like that, is making those connections and bridging those gaps. And they're discovering brands that they otherwise may not have even heard of, or maybe even shopped with or been a part of. So yeah, you have to be willing to, step outside the box a little bit, send people something and not get anything in return. Just ask people to, leave a rating or review for you, and not, but be honest, and accept that feedback. And at the same time, yes, it's definitely okay to, feel a certain type of way or take it serious because this is your brand. But at the same time, if you want to grow, if you want to flourish, if you want to develop properly, you have to be willing to go through all stages of that and not just really stick to one thing. So, bro, I definitely do echo a lot of that sentiment. I thank you for that, for sure, for sure. So, and wrapping up, just, for the people out there who are very interested, for my sneakerheads who may be tapping in, for the people who missed the Cool Grey 11 release, or maybe got taxed a little bit, or maybe looking forward to, being able to clean their own sneakers, or maybe even shopping with you in the future, can you just tell us the best place to find you, and just where we could get in contact with you on social media and stuff?
We only have one. We only have one social media, and that's on Instagram, strange.souls with a Z. Uh, anything else, that's not us. We only have strange.souls on Instagram, strange.souls with a Z. That's
Right
it.
now, he said, "Look, we keeping it short, sweet, and simple, and to the point, man. Strange Souls on Instagram. I'll make sure to include that in the bio. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you. One, not only coming on here to take the time with me and sit down with me, especially after a busy weekend, a crazy release. But thank you for the education. Thank you for the transparency. Thank you for giving different sides to the aspect of just business and business ownership and brand. You even taught me something with the whole brand experience, and that's very interesting. But it can be definitely very beneficial. I can see if you take advantage of it and do the way you're supposed to do. So I thank you for that, and I encourage anybody who may be in that space. I know a lot, 9 times out of 10, somebody tapping into this episode. I know you copped something this year on sneakers. I know you've missed something this year on sneakers.
Oh,
So
yeah.
tap in with my boy,
Right.
man. He'll definitely get right with you. He will take care of you for sure. And I'm definitely very interested to see the sneaker cleaner, the products, just the brick and mortar whenever it comes, bro. I'm excited for it all. So thank you to everybody out there
Appreciate
tuning in. Thank you, Joe, for everything that you did today to help move along the vision. And this has been another episode of the Down to Business podcast here with Tamar Turner. My man.